Hey, what's up? My name is Matt Dietz, and this is the Agency Launch Podcast. I am an active 17-year insurance agency owner, and I run a different shop than many of my peers. I've got 4,300 policies, and I have 2 staff members, and I have already made all the mistakes for you. So this podcast is to share with you all that I know. I come in and I record things as I think about them. I come in and I record things as they happen in my agency, and anything that I can think of that will help you, I come in and I share it. So I talk about sales and marketing and staffing and retention and everything that I know works in an agency like this. So I appreciate you listening, and let's get on with it. All right, what's up? So today I wanted to talk about customer service, because I always like to tell stories about customer service that I see in the wild that are worth sharing, because I think it's so important to what we do. Remember, the only thing we really can control in our industry is how we treat people. Really, that's what we can control. We can't control our product. We can't control our pricing. We can't control our premiums. We can't control whether something's covered or not, but we can control how we share information with people, and we can control how we treat our clients and our peers and other people. So I got a couple stories that I got one on each side I wanted to share. And just something, if you needed to rally your troops in your office and sit down and just have a reminder that's like, hey, this is how you treat people. This is how you don't treat people. Okay, so my son and I were at a soccer tournament this spring. We were up north in a beautiful town called Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And it was they had an evening game, and we were done at about 8 o'clock. And I was craving, swear to God, Little Caesars. Like, I haven't had Little Caesars in years. I'm from the Midwest. We had Little Caesars. It's a Detroit company. I went to school in Michigan. So, I kind of got this little tiny piece of my heart. And I was like, great, we're going to go have Little Caesars. He'd never had it before. He's 16 years old. He's like, cool. So he searches up, like, where can we go to Little Caesars? And things close in smaller towns like this earlier than cities. Like, I couldn't find a Jimmy John's to save my life. But he's like, all right, I found one. It's 10 minutes from the hotel. And if we leave now, it closes at 9. We can get there by 8:40 or something like that. And I was like, all right, perfect. So we drive there. I pull into basically an empty parking lot. The light's on. There's the Little Caesar guy. I'm just getting stoked. I'm going to get some crazy bread and big old pizza for us to share. And so I roll in there, and, there's a kid behind the counter. And I get in there, and I was like, hey, man, what's up? And he goes, hey, could you do me a favor and go around the drive-thru? I'm closed up front. And I hate that, okay? But we live in strange times, my friend. We live in a time where we're just coming through a pandemic for a period of time. Like, drive-thrus were the only thing that was open. So I'm just giving people grace. I was like, yeah, man, I'll drive around. It's cool. So, back in the car, and I drive, and there's one car in front of me. And I'm sitting there for it's almost 10 minutes I'm sitting there, but it's okay. My Little Caesars is coming. So I wind up pulling up, and he goes, I'm like, yeah, man, can I get a, whatever, large pepperoni and some crazy bread and sauce or something like that? And he's like, you know what? I'm all out of pizza. And I look at him, and I'm like, are you kidding me? He says, no, I'm sorry, we're out of pizza. I'm like, let me get this straight. I said, you are going to essentially kick me out of your lobby and then make me drive around and make me wait to tell me no again. Is that what's happening right now? He said, yeah, man, I'm really sorry. And I drove away. All right. I'm not going to get into it with the 17-year-old kid. There's no manager there. I'm not going to fight this fight. I'm going to go to Wendy's or whatever, So that happened. And my son is just like slack-jawed. He's like, what? He's like, what just happened? I was like, that was ridiculous. That's terrible customer service. Rah, 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 rah. So I go on my little tirade. We don't ever treat people like that. Just be honest with them. Then I talked to a buddy of mine who's from Detroit. He's like, dude, that's such crap. He said, those pizzas are pre-made. He could have fired up the oven and he could have got you what you needed, at a time when you were hungry, and he could have given you great service and he would have had a good experience. That's the first experience my son has had with that company. All right. I mean, he may never go back. He's going to live a long time. Okay. Oh, something about it reminded me of a story that I had. It reminded me of actually a memory that I had when I worked with Enterprise Rent-A-Car before I started my agency. I worked at the airport. Right, the airport shift. The airport's open a long time, 6 to midnight. All right, so there are 3 shifts. Right, it's like 6 to 2, 2 to 10, and then there's like a 4 to midnight shift or something like that. And I was, managing the location, and I was working the midnight shift. I was closing. This was my last day with the company. All right. I worked there for 3 years, like to the day. It just worked out that way. And I was at the airport. We close at midnight. All right. We close at midnight, and I have like one reservation left. It's 11:15 or something like that. And I just got to wait for this damn plane to land, and I am going to walk off into the sunset. And the plane is delayed. All right. And the plane lands at like 1. Now, I know you would make the right decision. I know you do the right thing. I know you do the same thing that I did, which was wait and work the extra hour and rent their car. Doing the right thing and being ethical is making the right decision when nobody's ever going to find out about it. All right. That's how you make the right decision. Okay. So I was like, well, we close. Like, there are people out there, and there may be people that work for you, and you're going to run into these people all over the place that really like to, I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep telling these stories to pound into you how important this is, but you've got to find a way to be better. You've got to find a way to say yes to your clients. The easy thing is to say no and exude this kind of false power that some people need to deploy. Some people need to tell people no, to keep people down in order to prove that they have more power than someone else. Because they're the one behind the desk. They're the one that's in front of the computer. They're the one that makes the transaction. And I get to decide. And that is a bad way to run a business. Okay, so if you or any of your employees are doing this and saying, nope, this is never going to be covered, or no, I'm not going to waive that fee, or whatever, like, you've got to be better than that. I worked the extra hour. I mean, my wife was at home and she was been asleep for 4 hours. Doesn't matter if she was asleep for 3 hours or 4. I'm going to go home and I'm going to go to bed. It doesn't matter if it's at 1 o'clock or 1:30, like, whatever. I did the right thing. The people were happy that I was there and rented the car, and I did the right thing. So I'm going to keep on this soapbox of encouraging you to give the right service, the proper service, the ones that are going to keep your clients coming back, because I don't think there's enough of it out there. And I think these simple little acts of trying and kindness will absolutely make you stand out and will absolutely help you keep your clients longer. And that's like one of the primary missions of your business. Okay. One other quick story. This is a good one. This happened to me yesterday. I've got a dog. She's a Weimaraner. Right? We love her, but she barks, and I have a bark collar for her because she barks at the rock in the middle of the road, or the leaf that's blowing across the lawn, or whatever. And so, and she's got a bark that can be kind of grating, and it's loud. And so we got a bark collar, and it keeps the barking down. Well, just this week, the bark collar started going off randomly, like while she's sleeping. Like, that's not nice, So this is a company, we've used their products before, and I call them up. I said, hey, your bark collar is broken. I bought it a year ago on Amazon, and is there anything that you can do to help me out? And she said, yeah. She goes, there should be a sticker on the bark collar. Can you please read me the number on it? I said, yes, I do see a sticker, but it's completely blank. It's been worn off. And she said, oh, okay. Well, what's your phone number? And we were in their system because we've actually done some returns in the past with them. She goes, okay, are you still at, this address? I said, yes. She goes, okay, I'm going to send you a replacement. Can you just send me that one back? I'm going to give you the envelope and the labeled box or whatever, and just pop it back in the mail. And can you give me the bad one? And this is all going to be done at no cost. And I was like, absolutely. Thank you so much. And this is the third time I've had to return something to this company, and they have done it with such ease and grace that I'm going to continue to buy their products because, they work. They're a little unstable, but they get me new ones when they break. And I even said, I was like, do you need proof of purchase? Like, can I send you my receipt from Amazon? She says, no, we don't need that. And it was like a 4-minute conversation, and she solved my problem. And I was like, that's how you do it, people. That is how you do it. And so we're going to get a new collar, and I'm going to be happy with them. And I will, shout their praises, for forever because they're amazing. And for the record, the name of that company is Educator Collars. So if you've got a dog and you need a training collar or a bark collar, go to Educator Collars. They are amazing. So there you go. Anyway, I just wanted to share some of these stories with you, encourage you to continue to work on this, talk to your team about it, and control what you can control. Okay. And you can control the way that you treat your clients, and always look for a yes. All right. It's going to help you grow your business faster and keep your business longer. So those are my thoughts today. So thank you so much for listening. My name is Matt. This is Agency Launch. Check out my other podcast, Simply Explaining Insurance. If you want to get anything on my course at agencylaunch.net, any of the courses I've got, since you're a listener to the podcast, just type in podcast and you will get 10% off anything in there. And that is for you. Also, text me, hop in my community, 208-213-8809. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.